messaging as part of billing center. Majorly, this is used to send asynchronous notifications about the kind of status of the changes in the billing that we have. At the same time, if you want to know about the payment processing, or else if you want to know about how many overdue invoices that we have, everything that we can see it in the JMS part. That is one thing, right? So Java messaging services generally are being used for that. JMS and all, right? So this is one we will be using for asynchronous process, because there are two things. One is synchronous process learning, or at the same time asynchronous process learning. Synchronous process learning, where we are sending a request to the external system where we are consuming the data. When it comes to the asynchronous process is concerned about the billing status changes or any payment processing, overdue invoices, everything will be involved in it. For example, given scenario, for example, in an example, like for example, we are performing any notifications. Okay, notifications might be sent to the external financial system, because financial systems we have, which we have to integrate so that we can send notifications, etc. So when there is any kind of payment processing is done, okay. At the same time, policyholder is going for a renewal, okay, renewal of the policy which is already existed. So whenever we want to make some changes in the existing policy, uh, maybe driver has changed in the commercial auto or personal auto, driver details has changed, new driver have came, or one more vehicle they want to be added into the existing one. So there can be changes happens in the billing status also, because billing status as of now comes under the renewal state of it. So this kind of things which we need to know, which is comes under the asynchronous process is concerned. Now, when we are learning this in two different angles, because let me explain you this in two different angles. A given scenario that I'm explaining about to explain now, from two different scenarios. One is from the business analyst role when we are performing. Second is a developer role, because somebody go with the business analyst role, whoever is not from the technical background. People who are from the business analyst or functional background will go for business analyst. So as a business analyst, we need to know the scenario and how this can be written as a user story. That is something that we do. So based on the user stories that given by the business analyst, as a developer, what kind of changes you want to make here? Here you have to make the changes in the Guidewire billing center. We have to make the changes. So these are the two different things. So given scenario, for example, there is a condition where the payment is successfully processed in the billing center, because customer, for example, customer have paid the renewal payment nearing to, so we have sent a reminder to the customer stated customer is accepted, customer is ready to pay the payment. And here we have sent create an invoice and we have sent it, where customer payment has successfully processed in the billing center. At the same time, whenever this is to be processed, what is required? So there can be an external payment gateways are required, some third-party accounting systems, because through different third-party payments, because any cross-border payments that we are doing, cross-border payments and all, there are different payment gateways. Something like we have something like PayPal or something, or is through GelPay they are paying. So different third-party payment gateways which has to be connected. Through that payment gateway, payment processing can be done within the particular region or within the particular country. Any cross-border payments are concerned, there can be some third-party tools are available also. So we have to integrate with some third-party systems. So we need to integrate with some external internal systems. At the same time, we have to integrate with some external systems also. So whenever we are connecting with external payment system as a payment gateway, we need to be known and we need to be notified about the payment. Means whatever the payment that is successfully that we have scenario sent here. So we have to get notified. So for this notified, what kind of message we want to say, right? So we want to get a messaging type. What kind of messaging type? JMS will send a text message or mapping messaging. What it was like containing payment information, means what type of payment, how much is the payment, what is the payment mode, easy paid, and what is the, if you are taking the details about the payment information, what is the base payment over here, any modifications, based on the modifications, any charges were applied over here or not, right? What are the tax information? If it can be a state or it can be a central tax or it can be a state tax if there is anything. So that will be added everything. So all the containing all the payment information will be sent through a JMS text messaging system will be performed. So for this given condition, as a business scenario, as a business analyst, what we do, normally this will be performed by the billing team. Okay. As a billing team, I want my application integration with the third party payment gateway, so that third party payment gateway so that we process the payment successfully, right? So this is, so as a BA, what we do, you have written a user story. Billing team, this is a user, right? So billing team is a user. So what kind of result they want to see? The payment process successfully is the result they want to see. So for that, what need to be integrated? What action to be performed? The application has to be integrated with some third-party system or third-party payment gateway. So this is how, as a BA, that we have to work with, right? So as a business analyst, we are writing the user story for the given scenario. Now, when we have written the user story, what is required? So this user stories, like this, multiple user stories will be shared to the development team. If we are a developer, what we do, whatever the changes we want to make, we will be doing in that Guidewire Developer Studio. Here it is, right? So here you can see whatever, of course, the general metadata files are generating. Here you can see there is an option for configuration. In this configuration, we have all the integrations, etc. Right? So all the integrations will be available. So based on the integrations, whatever we have seen over here, there is an integration that is taken place. So we have to integrate with this billing center system or the payment system with some third-party payment gateway systems, so that if there is any payment that we want to be processed further, everything can be done. Either we can use three different things in this we can use three different things. Here we can use integration. We can do three things. One, either you can go with web services, where we can integrate web services using SOAP or RESTful API and all. At the same time, we can generate some message queues. At the same time, we can run batch processing also. Right? So batch processing also we can run. So these are the three things that we need to perform when we are working on this application. We need to perform three things. One is on the web services we can run, either SOAP API or RESTful API. Normally RESTful API we are using now. At the same time, we can generate different message queues. At the same time, batch processing being a developer role. Whenever we are working as a Guidewire developer, from the billing point of view, we have to do the integration. We have to do integrations in the developer studio here. If we are a business analyst, provided this user story is required. So when I'm teaching or when I'm explaining this to you, I'm explaining in two different things. One is from a BA perspective, because business analysts are the people who has gathered the requirements from the stakeholder, translated into a user story format. And whatever the user story is given by the BA, that will be taken by the developer, and we have to make subsequent changes in the integration here in the developer studio under the billing part. This is one scenario. Okay, so when we are learning Guidewire Billing Center, this is how you need to know both the things, because if you are a BA, you will be knowing about the functional part, but some kind of technical part is mandatory, is required nowadays as a technical BA. Vice versa, if you are a developer, you need to know the functional process, end-to-end functional process. Apart from that, we must be good with the technical part of configuration integration also. This is how generally we work.